Wonder how many other moms are doing this and saying, it's not a big deal. Kids having a little bit of fun, and so is mama. But dad is not real happy with the play dates and how his wife is spending them. She's going out, hanging out with her girlfriends who got kids at the same age. But the mommies like to sit and have a little bit of wine while the kids are playing to pass the time. And he was at one of these play dates and just kind of sat back and watched and did so often what wives do to husbands, count every single drink. And he saw her going on working on her third glass of wine, and then was kind of like she was going to drive. He's like, no, I got this. You've had 2 glasses of wine.
You can't drive the kids.
Yes. And he said, in a sense, I'm glad that I was there to witness it because apparently this is happening all the time. And I wonder how often she is downing 3 glasses of wine and then getting behind the wheel of the car and driving.
And then the other moms, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, I think we're all not rookie drinkers. 3 glasses of wine, you're going to feel that, man. You
should not be driving yourself. You really shouldn't be driving your kids.
Yeah,
3 glasses of wine is drunk driving.
Absolutely.
100%.
So in her argument, she was insisting that she was fine to drive. She knows her limits. But I don't know. I know her well enough that I can just tell, it's not that she was slurring or anything like that. She's just a bit off, and I noticed some more swear words coming out of her mouth than normal. Inhibitions were lowered.
At the kids.
And I have begged her to stop, and she's like, you don't know my body and how I process this stuff. I'm fine. Stop worrying about me. Worry about yourself. He said, I'm worried about our kids because that's what you're driving. Is our kids.
He's doing the right thing.
And he's not convinced that she's going to stop. And he says, okay, so what is my next step if she will not listen to me?
Also, too, if you've been with somebody, whether it's a friend or a significant other, you know when something's up. If you're watching someone drink their 3rd glass of wine and they're just slightly off, you know that. You've been around them long enough.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. I know we've seen this email before, and this kind of stuff does happen, and it's kind of a message out there that, you shouldn't be having any kind of alcohol if you're going to be driving your kids.
Well, look, your kids are watching you. Mm-hmm. You may think they're not, but they are. And you're teaching them that, hey, when you get your license and you're 15, 16, 17, 18, it's okay to have 3 glasses of wine and drive. Is that the message you want to send your kid?
Right.
Because your kids are watching and they're taking a mental note.
Mm-hmm. I think this happens a lot, man. I know a lot of people that have wine nights, but they've got kids running around and they're
pile them in the car.
It's crazy. This happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big thing.
You can't do it. You have to have a 0 policy because don't you want that to be the policy when your teenagers start driving?
Sure.
You can't be a hypocrite because they're watching you and they're going to be like, okay, mom, whatever. I remember when we were 10 and you took us to play dates all the time and you would have 3 glasses of wine and load us all in the minivan. So whatever, mom. And they might tell you to your face, okay, yeah, sure, we're not going to drink and drive. But then they're going to go when they're a teenager and drink and drive. You have started this cycle of it's okay to have a couple glasses of wine and drive.
And so even though you're right, though, how do you convince a wife who will not see it that way? She's wrong.
That's always my question when it comes to marriage. When one person is clearly wrong, they triple down on it, but you go, do I want to divorce this person over this?
I don't want to raise kids with you. You're an idiot.
They won't listen. That's got to be the most maddening thing ever. At least if you're boyfriend, girlfriend, you can break up. The law doesn't have to get involved. That sucks, man. I don't know how y'all do it.
You have to be an example for your kid. Look, if you're going to do this, get an Uber.
Mm-hmm.
Get an Uber. You know how much time Rocco has spent in an Uber? A lot.
Right.
And that is how you teach them not to drink and drive. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're going to have a teenager that drinks and drives. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think you just got to be sometimes a pain in your partner's behind, and you need to stay on her about this. Make it very difficult. Give her an argument. Know she's going to have a fight every time. Anytime there's any kind of play date, you're going to try to tag along to make sure that everybody is driven safely, and you just keep hounding on her about this. Because, look, you could divorce her, and then what's she going to do? Probably in the divorce, she'll go on her own way and continue drinking and driving your kids, so you really haven't solved anything in protection of your kids.
You can also buy a breathalyzer, and if she doesn't believe you, at the end of her third glass of wine, have her blow real quick.
Yep.
And let her know that, hey, when you get pulled over, because I've already told the cops that you're going to be driving our kids when you leave here. When you get pulled over and you blow over the legal limit, you're going to jail, and I don't know if we're going to come bail you out.
Have you ever tried to reason with a drunk? Good luck trying to get them to do a breathalyzer.
No, you tell her this when you tell her this when she's sober.
Yeah.
You give her all this information when she's sober. Hey, just to let you know, at your wine night, I'm going to be there with the breathalyzer, and I've already told, our neighbor who's a cop down the way to be waiting for you.
Yeah. These are the kind of tactics you got to play when reason doesn't sink in.
Because our kids are watching you, and then they're going to turn around and drink and drive, and they're going to think it's okay because you've set the example and the standard that, hey, 3 glasses of wine, it's fine.
Yep.
I mean, there's parents at Little League games that are pounding drinks constantly, and you always think, well, they're driving home. Someone's driving home.
Hopefully they have a designated driver.
No, the people I'm thinking of do not.
Yeah.
One person has to be the designated driver and drive home sober or get an Uber.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, there's really nothing that I look down on somebody worse than when you get a DUI and your kids are in the car. It's not a good look.
And you know what's crazy?
You're going to get fired from your job. You're going to lose everything. You're going to be a social pariah. The neighbors are going to talk about you. Everybody's going to talk about you. You're going to be in the newspaper.
It's also
You're going to be on the TV.
They love. That's the kind of body cam stuff that YouTube just loves. That will feed the algorithm.
It absolutely will feed the algorithm.
Then it'll get on TikTok, and then it'll get on Instagram.
If you're okay with destroying your life for 3 glasses of wine, go ahead.
And if you're in one of these mommy groups that does the play dates and you have a little bit of wine when doing it, be responsible yourselves and say, look, no mom is having more than 1 glass or we're having minimal, or just have tea. Have something else other than an alcoholic beverage if you know other moms are going to be driving. Don't enable it yourself. And you can be an active participant in making sure that good decisions are being made. Don't enable each other's bad behavior.